And here is the Writer's Almanac for Wednesday, September the 22nd, 2021.
1888, on this day, the National Geographic magazine came out for the first time, a scientific journal, no photographs, published for the 165 members of the National Geographic Society. 1692, on this date, 8 citizens of the colony of Massachusetts were hanged for their connections to witchcraft, the last of the deaths caused by the Salem witch trials. There had been 11 other hangings. There were 5 who died in prison, 1 who was crushed to death because she refused to enter a plea. The trials took place over the spring and summer of 1692, after 2 young girls began displaying unusual behavior, convulsing and shouting blasphemous things and acting like they were possessed. The daughter and the niece of a minister named Samuel Parris. And then several other girls in town began acting strangely, and they named individuals as the cause, the ones who had bewitched them. Dozens of people, women, men, children, accused of and often jailed for practicing or supporting witchcraft. Many of the accusations seemed to fall along the lines of existing feuds or were directed at people who, because they were poor or they were not members of the church, they lived on the margins, they were not likely to be able to defend themselves. By the time these final 8 were hanged on this day in 1692, people across Massachusetts were talking about the trials, and within weeks the governor declared spectral evidence was inadmissible, and then he barred any further arrests. He disbanded the local court, released many of the accused, but it wasn't until the following spring that he finally pardoned those who were still in jail. It's the birthday of the author Fay Weldon, born Worcestershire, England, 1931, grew up in New Zealand, author of The Life and Loves of a She-Devil. And it was on this day in 1862, President Lincoln signed the Emancipation Proclamation, which put the Confederacy on notice of his intention to free the slaves. They had until January 1st, he said, to lay down their arms, and after that, any slave within a rebelling state would be thenceforward and forever free. It did not free all slaves, however. Those who were in border states would remain slaves. The Confederate States had no interest in this compromise that he offered, and so the proclamation took effect on January 1st.
Here's a poem for today by Ted Kooser, Porch Swing in September. The porch swing hangs fixed in a morning sun that bleaches its gray slats, its flowered cushion whose flowers have faded like those of summer, and a small brown spider has hung out her web on a line between porch post and chain, so that no one may swing without breaking it. She is saying, it's time that the swinging were done with, time that the creaking and pinging and popping that sang through the ceiling were past, time now for the soft vibrations of moths, the wasp tapping each board for an entrance, the cool dewdrops to brush from her work every morning, one world at a time. Ted Kooser's poem Porch Swing in September from Flying at Night, published by University of Pittsburgh Press and used by permission here on the Writer's Almanac. Be well, do good work, and keep in touch.